being Catholic wasn't the best for me personally. Like in Mass, I just never felt truly connected with God because there was a lot of like stuff in Latin like I didn't understand, like stuff that I tried to memorize, like never really connect to. And it's also things that they were telling us that we should believe, but there was never like why or like how it connects with our lives now. And it was just like the end goal. So after I went to Medford Public Schools, I just kind of separated from God, and I just kind of like lived my own solo journey, and it wasn't great, and I don't recommend it. And it was really just filled with like loneliness, because like I had my family and I had friends, but I always felt like something was missing. And like I know people around me who were really close with God and how their experiences were with the church, and I was always kind of jealous of it because I'd always see people talk about their friendship with Jesus and like their experiences with God and how like fulfilling it was, but I had never experienced it myself.
I kind of felt like my tether to like follow a religion just kind of snapped in a way, because I didn't feel like the force to like go to church or like think about God when it wasn't like something that was like scheduled for me to do, kind of like a chore. So like a few years went by and I just had no religion at all really, and I just didn't feel a connection to God at all. And then last year I was kind of going through a little rough patch, and I just kind of felt really isolated and like something was kind of missing from my life. And it was around the time that my sister kind of started going back to church, and she was kind of like telling me how good it was and like wanted me to come with her. And I was a little like hesitant to start going back again because it was kind of like unfamiliar. But I remember just like really relating to the sermons and feeling like kind of this was my calling to come back to God, where it could be my decision and like my journey, where it wasn't something I was being like pushed into.
I was in a really abusive relationship, and that just kind of left me feeling really lonely because there was no one that quite understood what I was going through. And although I had like my supportive friends and family, like I just still felt like I was alone in that. And I'm not gonna lie, I saw a TikTok that was talking about God and Jesus, and they're saying like the most powerful prayer was the one where like you ask for God to like show him that, or like to show me that he's still in my life. And I prayed that in like a very vulnerable moment, and then I was driving to my friend's house and I saw this like most beautiful sunset that I have like seen in a long time, and I was just driving, I was looking out the window on the highway, and I was just like, wow. And like I finally felt relieved for the first time in a long time, and I felt like happy. And like it was kind of confusing, but like I knew like in my heart that it was because I had prayed for a sign. I was like, this is my sign. And then now whenever I pray for a sign or anything and I see sunsets, and I just think that that's really powerful.
I kind of felt this like feeling inside of me kind of at church, where it just felt like I was kind of starting to reach like peace and like true happiness through like following Jesus and God. And I just feel like I haven't really felt that ever, and I just kind of wanted to dive deeper into that. Like I kind of became like hooked on that feeling, and that feeling kind of grew with my connection to like reading the Bible and like learning more about God. And then I feel like he's kind of changed like my perspective a lot on my life and how he's like changed my life. Like I feel like I can just I can kind of see the world differently, like through learning more about the Bible and like kind of seeing God in everyone else.
Well, I mean, after that first day, I just kind of knew that like he was real, and like it had always been something that people had told me, like, oh, like God is real, and like you have to follow him. But like I never really understood why, because like in Catholicism, it's very different. Like you don't feel as close to God because it's mostly like through priests and like through confession, through the sacraments and everything, rather than just like your own individual relationship with him. So after I prayed to him and I felt his presence within me, I was like, wow, like this is kind of nuts. Like I really have to like take it upon myself now to like follow him and start showing up for not only myself but for him too. So I just got like really into it, and every single Sunday I've been back, and I like love reading my Bible, and it helped me feel whole again in a time where like I really didn't think that I ever would be, especially it was the beginning of my senior year. Like everything I just felt like was going so wrong, and that I had like no control. And I guess God really helped me to kind of give up that control in my own life and give it to God and kind of be like, okay, you can deal with this.
Just knowing that like I'm not really alone and God's always with me, and it just like I was saying before, like it's really peaceful to like share your burdens with someone, and just like knowing you're not alone and just not carrying all the stress by yourself. And I just feel like that's the path to like true happiness, is just not walking through life alone.
My name's Madeline. I go to Medford High. I'm a senior.
My name's Kristen and I'm a sophomore at Medford High School.